What is going on, guys? Cowboy here, and we are back. So we're at the Crystal Sage bonfire right now, and we're going to take this path on out. Now there's going to be two crystal lizards we're going to encounter in just a little bit. To ensure you get them both, and you can see one right there and one right there, first thing we're going to do is a plunging attack on this one. Get our twinkling. Now get ready to hit this one as soon as you round the corner. Alright, got both of them. So we're going to follow this path on over. There's a fatty there. Now we don't want to fight that fatty just yet because we have Cage Bro and there's a second Cage Bro. So what we're going to want to do is take this path up. And with a little bit of patience, we can get a free plunging attack on Cage Bro here. The other Cage Bro is up the ways a little bit. We're also going to take him out, but we want to take out Cage Bro number 1 first. Oh, there's Cage Bro 2. Let's see, can I get a double plunging? Double plunging attack. Thought you'd be farther along the path. I don't know why he was down, but anyway. So from here, it's time to kill the fatty. Now we're going to actually go back over to where that crystal lizard was. We're going to drop down behind her, and we're going to go to try and get an easy backstab on her. Just to make things as smooth as possible, smoother than a baby's bottom. Don't go this way. As you can see, that's a long way down. Sneak up behind the fatty. Grab the Herald gear. May have just not been close enough for the backstab. Doesn't matter. Fatty is dead with zero trouble. Ooh, I got the spiked mace from her. I've been curious about that. Let's take a look. Spin bash. Bash foes with a large spinning motion and utilize momentum. Does have bleed on it as well, and physical. This looks like it'll be an interesting weapon to use in PvP. Anyway, so from here we're going to run along, and we're going to reach a new bonfire. This is officially the Cathedral of Bullshit bonfire, we'll call it. Before we rest, we have a dude right here. Why are you wearing my armor, man? There can only be one. So we want to take him out. After we kick him out, we can grab the Paladin Ashes, which is what he's bow guarding in that corner. Got the Paladin's Ashes. Right. Up here, there's another enemy we're going to take down. This one we'll get the spider shield off of. He's in full brigand gear. Not too much of a threat, but just be a little careful. I like to throw things. Oh, MLG parries. I was hoping I could set up parry him, but... Alright, Spider Shield Bro is down. Give me your shield. And now from here, we're going to go over this way and grab the Anti-Dark Shield. Now there's one shield for pretty much each element in the game. This is the first one. And so, like, in terms of kind of like medium shields that you can get that are mentionable pickups, we obviously have the Grass Crest. This one is going to give us stamina recovery speed. Now we have the Crest Shield, and as you can see, looking at the stats, 100% physical as well as 86 dark. Now, as we go through the game, we're also going to find shields with very similar stats for lightning, fire, and magic as well. So they're all really good options. They all weigh right around the same. And just generally, you know, that they're nice shields to pick up. and be able to switch out for the appropriate occasion. So obviously I like the small leather for parrying, and I use the silver eagle kite just because using the left trigger lets me use my weapon art while the shield is equipped, which I find preferable. But it is worth mentioning that, you know, those shields are probably something that you would want to keep in your inventory, just so that depending on the situation you are in, you can switch up if need be to the appropriate weapon of the time. Alright, so before we go any farther from here, definitely important mention, get a torch. Now, we have a bonfire coming up, which we'll be able to buy that torch at in just a second, but you are going to 100% want a torch in this upcoming area. So we're going to actually, I won't need my parry shield for a bit. We'll put on the torch now. For this, that's right, it's right after this area. Okay, so stick to the left here. It'll make your life a lot less stressful. This area is very reminiscent of that path in Bloodborne, where it's just flooded with dogs and guys that are shooting at you with rifles. Except now instead you have dogs and guys that are shooting at you with bow and arrow. With fireballs. Or crossbows, excuse me, not bow and arrow. Because they're different. But just coming up that left path, it allows you to basically pop up right where these assholes are, instead of having to run through the dogs, because the dogs will go after you. So instead of having to run and fight all these dogs while being shot at, by taking that left path, as you kind of saw, we're able to just approach them much easier and take them all out. Take down the dogs now. Should be one more dog. There he is. And the last puppy. Alright, now you may remember we picked up an Estus shard earlier. We actually still have that, and that's because we're about to grab another Estus shard just up ahead. I keep like looking back thinking I'm going to miss something, even though I have a giant list on my computer monitor. So this guy, run on up, kill him fast. This guy will light himself on fire, run at you in suicide. You don't want to deal with that. Take him out. And, yes, before we go to the bonfire, let's go up here. There's an Estus shard, so we're going to kill these guys. Get our shard. And now, how did you survive? Well, whatever. You're dead. Keep expecting wells to have items. Anyway, so now we have 2 shards that we're going to use. So, hit the bonfire, travel on back. This is a good time to buy your torch if you haven't. I cannot stress that enough. Your torch will be a lifesaver in this area. So from here, shortcut over there, shortcut over there. These are areas we're going to unlock later, so don't worry about them for now. Go on and light your bonfire. I would suggest using any souls that you have. So we're going to go grab a level while we're picking up goodies. And we'll take the 50 as well. So even though the very first bonfire is called the Cathedral of the Deep, we're actually just now getting into the Cathedral of the Deep area. This is more the courtyard, if you will. The actual cathedral we don't go into until a little bit later from now. King's Black Hands. I did not find that armor, but that looks super awesome. So go over to Andre, give him your shards.
Well, what?
Once again, remember that after you reinforce, you have to allot the Estus to actually see the shard's effect. So now we're at 8 and 1. 8 and 1 should be good. I mean, given I do use weapon arts occasionally, I don't work with magic at all. I have a very needy cat sitting here demanding attention while I try and do this. Tell you what, it's kind of tricky to play Dark Souls 3, follow a guide that you've written up, and pay attention to a cat all at the same time. Oh, just barely short. Actually, no, I'm nowhere close. I need like 5,000. Anyway, so, once again, last call, get your torch. If you haven't, you can buy a torch right over here.
How?
As you can... Oh, we can give her the Paladin's Ashes as well. Do that. 300 souls. Super cheap. Make sure to buy it. Cannot stress enough how important this torch will be. Okay, so to the Cleansing Chapel we go. Well, there's a couple ways to approach this area. The path that I'm going to show you, I feel, is kind of just the easiest way to go through it. We're going to swing around, knock out the whole lower path, and then go up into the higher path. And I feel like that just, I feel like it flows very well. So, if you want to take the upper path first, be my guest. But it makes more sense to do the lower path since the upper path is progression. Okay. Okay, so from here, we'll just kill these guys again so they don't follow us. There's Suicider guy. It looks like he's not even going to make it up here. Oh, you're the one that we missed earlier. I guess you were sitting there taking a nap. That's fine. So from here, you can see this is the upper path. This is the lower path. So we're going to go drop on down. Drop on down again. You'll see these guys. Now, these enemies are basically, I guess we'll call them maggot beasts. They're literally covered in maggots. Now, they don't do a lot of damage, but what you can see is now that they've hit me, you can see that my entire character, I'm covered in these maggots all over, and you'll notice that the bleed meter keeps building. You pull out your torch, all the maggots burn off instantly. So that is why you're going to want the torch. These maggots actually take an extraordinarily long time to just disappear on their own. Like, I'm talking that bleed meter will build up 3 times while you wait for the maggots to just fall off. So I would not suggest doing that. Definitely have your torch just so you don't have to worry about it. It'll make your life so much easier, and all it takes is a quick swap and they're gone. So right here we have our Saint Tree Bell Vine. Coming up next, we have a Titanite Shard we're going to grab, 2 Crystal Lizards, a Shortcut Room, more Titanite, and then a Crystal Beast. So right over here, we should run into our Lizard in just a moment. There he is. And the interesting thing about Crystal Lizards is they'll always run from you. So when I kind of curved to the left here, it forced him to, run into this corner instead of running that way. Just something to keep in mind. Let's see, Crystal Lizard downriver. Okay, so once we loop around, Crystal Lizard number 2 should be... yeah, he's up near the Crystal Beast. There he is. Get back here. Chasing them down with running attacks works pretty well. If you have a weapon that doesn't hit them well, I would suggest switching your weapon. There's the Crystal Beast. That'll sleep until we actually approach it. Before we do that, though, we're going to go up here. Grab the Titanite. I believe this is a large. No, it's still a regular. Okay, our larges are coming up. So before we do the Crystal Beast, I don't think I can actually get down. There we go. Right in there is a shortcut. We're going to unlock this a little bit later. Looking up, you can kind of see the ladder towards the top of my screen right there. So just keep that in mind from now. From that shortcut to get back to the bonfire, we would simply run this way, run up this path, and then just drop down in there, and we're at the bonfire. We'll grab that shard, and now we're going to go take down the Crystal Beast. So since he's sleeping, as always, prep yourself appropriately. super heavy attack. See, makes it a lot easier to kill these guys when you lead with a super heavy attack. Kind of staggers them into oblivion. And then from him, we have this little passage here, kind of hidden. We're going to go in there, kill another maggot beast, and we'll grab the poison bite ring. So one thing to note, as you saw there, even though I blocked the maggot beast's damage, still got hit by the maggots. Even more so of a reason to make sure you have that torch. There's our poison bite ring. And I believe that's everything. Let's see. Titanite, Titanite. Yes, poison bite. Okay. So we're good. From here we'll go to the bonfire, and then we're going to make our way up. So we haven't really lost anything, so I think we're not even going to bother resting at the bonfire. We'll just head on up, and this area can be kind of filled with bullshit. Now the reason for that is that these enemies will just keep coming. They'll just respawn and respawn and respawn, and they're not all that strong. You know, they don't do a ton of damage, but the thing is, there ends up being so many of them, and then on top of that, they're all vomiting all over the place. You just end up getting overwhelmed by them. You can see more maggots, more so of a reason to have that torch. But what we're going to do to make this area easier is cut immediately to the left, right here. We're going to go up and get our Store Greatsword, grab that. Then we're going to go this way, and we're going to drop down off to the left. This is just going to let us avoid a lot of the bullshit in this area associated with these guys. Now, this is the area we want to go. One of these enemies is actually going to transform right when we get to that item. So we're going to get those items. We're going to fight some of them, because if we don't, we'll end up getting kind of just overloaded. This is the remainder of the area with all these dead guys. There's no items down there, so there's really no reason to bother running through it. But after we clear out this area, we're going to cut through that path that I'm looking at right now, kind of over that way. Fading Soul, Executioner's Greatsword, Sharpen, and we're ready to go. You can kind of see what I was talking about with just getting overwhelmed by them. There's just so many of them. And then you have a couple that are like semi-beast here that you're seeing right now, like these two. Take our path. Pull out that torch. Drop down. And then we're good. So as always, be cautious when you're fighting in an area that's on a bridge, as I just did. I don't think this fall would kill you, but it's worth noting. Right there, that's actually, if we had gone to the right instead of the left, we could have run straight over here, but we would have missed out on those two good greatswords. So from here, let's see. Yes, next we have Greatsword Fading, Proceed over Bridge. Okay, we got the Dual Wielder and then the Great Shield. So, a lot of basic bitch enemies still, but we have her. Now, the Dual Wielder can be a little bit tricky. She's quite aggressive. You can parry her, which I don't have my parry shield on. That's fine. See why I said she's aggressive. Kind of hard to stagger lock as well. But take her down. And we're going to go up here. Grab our Great Shield. For those curious. And here is our ladder that we looked at earlier. Kick that puppy on down. Let's see. Okay, yeah, from there, man, like we haven't used any Estus, so I guess we won't bother with any yet. This is going like absurdly smooth. We're gonna we'll finish up this area and then we'll continue the episode actually moving up into the cathedral. So there's a bunch of these guys still, but there's a ton of items we're going to be snatching up down here. Just run on in and then get ready for assistance. You can just kind of chill. Our great bow friend is going to be helping us out here. There's a bunch of stuff down here: souls, repair powder, branches, and most importantly... Really? You gotta eat my face while I'm busy looking at my item list? Most importantly, there is a bone shard we want to grab. So, while everything else is optional, get the undead bone shard. Grab the repair powder. Now, if we did the bond of friendship, our great bow friend will start shooting great bows to take all these guys out for us. You can certainly help. There's no reason to just sit idle. But similar to before, those great arrows will not hurt us, they will only hurt enemies. I believe that's everything. Yes, looks to be the case. Alright. So, from here, this next section can get a little lengthy. We're basically going to be fighting our way past a bunch of stuff to make it into the cathedral. So, we're going to grab the red bug pellet real fast. I forgot to burn off the leeches. And we're actually going to take that bonfire. We're going to rest, go spend some souls, and then we will resume this episode from this shortcut right here as we battle our way into the cathedral. I shouldn't say resume this episode. We'll continue in the next episode. Just taking our shortcut on down. Once again, for those that missed it the first time, from the shortcut, literally a straight run back. Curve a little bit. And curve a little bit. And bonfire. Oh, and one thing I almost missed. Don't want to forget this. Always good to add a little kink into your life. Grab that notched whip. And we're good. So either way, guys, hope you are still enjoying the walkthrough. Like I said, put a lot of work into making sure we know where everything is for these and giving you guys as smooth a route as possible. So in the next episode, we are going to actually fight our way into the cathedral, go through all of that, and then, of course, we have a boss as well. So the cathedral itself, it'll likely be a two-parter. We'll see between the rooftops and fighting our way in. That's almost an episode completely on its own. But I do have it down pretty